Hey guys, the Broken Prophet here. This is going to be a very short video. And I know I say that almost every time, and then the damn thing ends up running over. But this one, I promise you, is going to be short for one reason and one reason only. It has been a long day. It's like 11:30, a little after 11:30 here down in Atlanta, GA, Hoodoo Central, and I am tired. It's been a long day, and I haven't eaten yet. I'm starving, so my stomach is rumbling. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this video out because it's something I want to talk to you guys about. Well, better put some on my stomach before we get into this thing. So I want to show you guys something, and then that'll lead into what I want to talk about. I want to show you guys this right here. This is my personal Mojo bag, and it is the very first one I ever made. I mean, you can see it's kind of beat up and tattered here. A couple of holes have shown up over the years. Now I can, almost hear some of the stunned, gasps. You guys, a lot of you are sitting there watching this video with your mouth open, like, oh my gosh, I thought you weren't supposed to show your Mojo bag. I thought it was supposed to be private. Yes and no. Okay. Let me tell you guys something. There's nothing wrong with somebody seeing your Mojo bag. A lot of you are getting this information from places that kind of got their information secondhand. You know, um, I grew up in this, and down here in the South, the understanding of the Mojo bag is a little bit different because you have to understand a lot of that Mojo bag lore came from like the second age of hoodoo. Okay, hoodoo actually has two ages. You have the plantation hoodoo, and then you've got the spiritual work that kind of evolved later on. And there was a fair amount of showmanship in it. Okay, at that time, once it evolved and left the plantation, there was a fair amount of showmanship in it. And whenever you have like that and commercialism, you have competition. Okay, you have competition. And what happened was, if worker A made their bag and they gave it to clients, they would often tell them, like, don't let anybody see it, don't open it up, it loses its power, stuff like that. And the reason being, I know a lot of you are already picking this up, is if you make a really good Mojo bag and people swear by it, then another worker down the street will want to know what was in it. And you don't really want people at the time knowing what was in your Mojo bag. See, that differs from plantation hoodoo, where you had a lot of people that were still like remains or remnants of, the babalaos, the tatas and stuff that came over with us. Because then, when you have an initiatory tradition, you're taught from an elder, and that elder was taught from someone older, so everyone pretty much knows how things are done. But during that second phase of hoodoo, there wasn't a lot of passing things down to people outside of your family and stuff like that. So a lot of things became secretive, more secretive than they used to be. Okay, and then once you had competition, it got even worse. It was like, no, don't let anybody see it. Don't let anybody do this. They didn't even want people to know that they'd given you a Mojo bag. That's why they said don't let anybody see it. Why? Because they didn't want, their competition either stealing the bag from you, offering to buy it from you, or, that worker didn't even want people to know that he was giving out Mojo bags so that another worker couldn't send someone to buy one. So if they didn't know that you were selling it, they couldn't send somebody to buy one. So anyway, a lot of the lore and the stuff that you're reading about now, you're seeing in blog posts, videos and stuff, that's not really how we do things down here. Okay, a lot of things that you'll hear also, because I'm going to open this up in front of you, my very first Mojo bag. I'm going to open it up. But a lot of things that you hear is that, you never open up a Mojo bag, it loses its power. That also is a falsehood. Why? Because this is a piece of work, and hoodoo is very kinetic, it's very flowing. And so it's not just something that just sits in your pocket and brings luck or whatever. It's also something that you can use to constantly work and to constantly bring about change. I open my Mojo bag all the time, and would like poke pieces of hair in it from someone that I wanted to gain control over. Little bits of dirt from jobs I was trying to get. Or I would take little bits out to try to and sprinkle around when I didn't have a powder handy and I wanted to influence a situation. Okay? So this is a living, breathing, constantly evolving thing. All right? Now, though I would reach in and grab little things out or put things in, over time, the contents would change. So I decided to open this thing up. And so we'll all see what's in here. All right, so we'll do that. And I also, I wanted to refresh it, rebuild it. And it's just, red flannel with a little red cord here. And I'm opening this thing up here. I'm about excited as y'all are to see what is still in this thing. Because the main components haven't changed. It's just little bits that have been taken out or added to. So we'll see what's in here. All right. So there goes the cord. I'm going to open this bad boy up. Now, okay. Interesting. I don't know if y'all will be able to see what I have in there, because I don't really feel like trying to switch this camera around and all this stuff. But what we've got, we have a nutmeg for luck. Here is, I remember getting this as a little boy. This is my first High John root. It wasn't even a real big one, but it seems like I remember it being bigger when I was younger. Piece of jetstone to keep away unwanted spirits. Looks like at some point this was a petition paper that's been beat up. And some pieces of shell. Okay, there's a message. More shell. As you can see, over time, the actual roots and stuff and herbs have kind of been obliterated. All right. So that's what was in my Mojo bag. Like I said, the nutmeg was to bring luck. The High John root, which is by far my favorite root. High John allows you to use your wits to gain control of a situation or to come out on top. People hear the name High John the Conqueror and they think it's a very forceful root. And it is a masculine root. They think it's very forceful. They hear the word conqueror and they think that. But, down here in the South, you have to understand the High John the Conqueror stories. High John, was a slave or a former slave. And there are a bunch of stories about him getting over on some white person. And he never did it through force. He did it through using his wit. So that's really what High John does. Like I said, this piece of jetstone here keeps away unwanted spirits. And things that may try to control or latch on to you. Or latch on to me, rather. And here is that petition paper. Of course, you can't read it now. I can't even get it open. But I'll keep that in there. And I'll keep maybe one piece of shell here. I'll put the other over here on my working altar. Now, I do want to rebuild this thing. I have a piece of flannel here. I don't normally make my bags with green flannel. Normally, I prefer red. But y'all know what I believe. I believe in working with what you have. So I'll put these things back in here. But remember I said it's a constantly evolving creation, your Mojo bag. So what I'm going to add a few things here. I don't feel like panning the camera around. I want to use a bit of white sage just for its cleansing properties. I'm going to use some mint leaves. Mint is also cleansing, but it helps to draw money. All right. And mint specifically helps to draw new money. You know, we talk about money drawing things, but you know, sometimes money can be drawn to you from, you know, the weird, you know, people that owe you money will pay it back. No, mint helps to open, you know, bring new money. So it's a form of a road opener. It helps to bring about new opportunities. All right. Now, right before, you know, earlier in the day, I took a cleansing bath, and I used a little bit of a white flour here, and I kept it. I don't know why I kept it, but now I know why, because I knew. I guess part of me knew I was going to be doing this video. So I put a couple of petals from there. I have a personal spirit that walks with me, that works with pennies, so I'll put a penny in there. And I also use, lastly, some licorice root, because licorice root, well, not last, I just thought about something, but licorice root helps, it's a controlling root, helps to dominate situations, okay? I need a little bit more oomph to go with my natural wit and charisma. I'll use a little licorice root. Now the last thing I'm going to put in there is a pinch of Damiana leaf. Damiana doesn't draw love. It's more of a sexual potency and natural raw sexuality booster. All right, so I'm just going to use a pinch of that, you know, to help my swag a little. So I'm just going to use a pinch. And what y'all got to say? No, seriously, I'm just going to use a pinch. A little bit of Damiana leaf goes a long way. You dump this bag outside your house, and you might get knocks on your door. You won't be leaving home for a week. And I'm going to bind it up with some twine. Now, I know y'all have read books, and I know a few of y'all out there going, oh, wait, is it that simple? Yes, it is just this simple. You pick the things you want to add, and I usually will compress everything down to a little nugget down there. You pick the things you want to add to your bag. You add them, and then you tie the bag up. I know, it seems like it should be a lot more complicated, doesn't it? Well, that's because the people who make it seem so damn complicated, they want you to keep buying books and liking and sharing and reposting and shit. All right? So if they make things seem mystical, then you'll keep coming back because everyone's looking for the magic. They're looking for the razzle dazzle. But what you don't understand is the word super means extra, right? Extra. So supernatural, which is what this is, we're using magic, right? Supernatural means extra natural. It's more natural to you than saying things like breathing. Should be more natural than breathing, which is true because we're working with the spirit, and the spirit will continue even after breathing stops. So it's supernatural, it's more natural than, you know, what's physical. All right. And so for me, I don't need all the hocus pocus and the razzle dazzle. And I'll tell you why as soon as we tie this. The only part of ritual that I use when making my highly effective bags is I will tie only 3 knots. And that was number 2. I tied 3 knots because hoodoo comes, of course, from the South. And, you know, down here in the South, black folks, we love us some Jesus. So I'll tie 1 for the Father, 1 for the Son, and 1 for the Holy Spirit. All right. There you go. There's my new bag. Trim off the edges. And I'm not going to have this sumbitch all big. There. There we go. There's my new bag. Now, what will, because I know some of you are like, do you light candles around it? Do you pray over it? Yeah, I will pray over it. Okay? I will pray the 23rd Psalm or something else over it. But mainly what I will do to charge this bag up, to make it effective, is pop it into my pocket. Oh, wait, I forgot. I did forget one part. I do want to feed it I have a little bit of whiskey right here. And whiskey, you put a little whiskey on it. And whiskey does feed. I know, the books say use something like Hoyt's cologne. I have nothing against Hoyt's cologne. It's just that wasn't as readily available as some of these websites will lead you to believe. But we could get our hands on some whiskey when we need it. And waste not, want not. We can get our hands on that. And that's what I use to feed my bags with. All right. Now, the part I was just talking about where I put it in my pocket. For the next week, this bag will not leave my side. It will not leave my pocket. Okay. I sleep in basketball shorts, so it'll be in my pocket there. When I leave the house, it goes in my pocket next to my my wallet, my keys, stuff like that. That bag being with me will become such second nature that I will look for it. I'll feel naked without it. Okay, that's how it gets charged up when you just need to have it with you, much like your keys, your wallet. Some of you are carrying Mojos with you right now. You only you call it your cell phone. Think about how you feel when you're halfway down the street and you realize your cell phone's not with you, or you feel like maybe I left my phone at work. All right. You feel naked without it. Same thing as your house keys. That's how you want to feel about your Mojo bag. And, that first moment when you pat your pocket to make sure it's there, then it's charged up. All right. All right, y'all. That's all I have for you. Get to know your roots, your herbs. You have any questions, put them in the comment section down below. I'm going to end this video because I am hungry. I do want to leave you guys with this though. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw a couple of days ago I just hung out, cut loose, and I did a little shopping down in Low 5 Points here in Atlanta. And what I found was this charm here that you guys have been looking at. Okay. Anyway, this charm here, it's an hourglass, and you see it runs very quickly. All right. Guys, that's not fast. I mean, that's not slow at all. It runs very quickly. And I like that because it's a reminder that, y'all, we only have a very short amount of time here. Very short amount of time. So don't waste it doing senseless things like fighting, arguing, worrying, and stressing yourself out. Spend what little bit of time we have here, loving as hard as you can, laughing as hard as you can, as often as you can, and focusing on the positive things. One thing about this Mojo bag that was peculiar is that it would pop up at random times. Sometimes it would disappear. I could tear my house up, wouldn't find it, and then it would pop up for whatever reason. This one popped up a couple of days ago. Just on the passenger side of my car because I was going through some things and I guess I needed it. All right. And that's also a reminder. That's my last life lesson for tonight. Some things pop up for a reason. And then when it's time for them to go, they're gone. There's no sense worrying about it. No sense fretting about it. Just be thankful for the time you spent with it. People too. All right? Live for the now. Not for yesterday, not for tomorrow. Enjoy your now. And I'm going to enjoy my now, which is going to be cooking me some dinner. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll say the obligatory like, comment, and subscribe. Share it to all your friends. Thank y'all for joining me, the Broken Prophet. And enjoy your evening.